Hello and welcome to Beyond 50 Skin. My name is Cindy. I thought today would be a fun time to go through what's coming up in 2023 while I go through my empties. 2023 for me personally is going to be a year of change. I'm going to have a grandchild. We're going to be moving our house around a little bit to accommodate more family and visitors, hopefully. So my location and setting here in the studio, in my office, will be changing. I have about 3 months worth of empties and I've organized them in categories. If you feel like jumping around in this video, feel free to do so. I'm going to start out with some cleansers, then move on to some mists and toners that I've finished up, then some vitamin C's, some serums, then some specialty prescription products, some masks, a little bit of makeup, hair care, and body care. And along the way, I'm going to talk about what's coming up in 2023. So let's get started with the cleansing products that I finished up. I finished up about 3 boxes of the Clean Skin Club cloths. I actually prefer these to a washcloth or a microfiber towel. I just throw them in the organics. They're biodegradable. Great discovery of 2022. I also finished up my Vanna cream. This is just a basic, gentle cleanser, fragrance-free. I have this on repurchase, but I tend to use it more in the summer. Another cleanser I finished up was the Jordan Samuel, the After Show Treatment Cleanser. This is a jelly cleanser, also very gentle. Definitely enjoyed this. I'm not sure if I prefer this to the ordinary squalene cleanser, which is my holy grail fave. All right, a few first cleanse that I finished up are the Auraglow cleansing oil. This is always on repurchase for me. And I also finished up the Living Cleansing Balm. I don't think this is going to be a repurchase for me. It does okay, but I actually feel like it doesn't quite get all my mascara off. So this probably isn't going to be a repurchase. It does kind of smell like mangoes and citrus, which is one of my favorite scents, but I think I'm going to move on to some new oil cleansers. Speaking of oil cleansers, I also tried the Dermatology Pre-Cleanse Oil. This is a really nice option. It has a little bit of fragrance in it, whereas the Auraglow is fragrance-free. It's also easier to get a hold of, but it's also a little bit pricier. So I loved both of these. They both did beautifully as a first cleanse. I think I'm kind of preferring an oil cleanse to a balm cleanse. I don't know. Coming up are some cleanser reviews from new companies that I've never tried before, so look forward to that. If you have any particular brands that you're interested in me reviewing, definitely leave me a comment down below. 2 hydrating toners that I've finished up are the Real Ferment Micro Mist by Neogen and the Sukiyakusu Hada Urea Moisturizing Lotion, which is always on repurchase. I enjoyed both of these. I would repurchase the Sukiyakusu Hada over the Neogen Micro Mist Ferment because it's a lot more economical, but this one is a little bit more hydrating, just slightly. If you didn't want a moisturizer for summertime, you might get away with just this mist after you do your cleanse. I typically don't cleanse in the morning. I just save my cleanser for an evening, and I just start my morning with a rinse and a hydrating toner or mist. So I go through quite a few of these. It's my favorite skincare step in my skincare routine. So that's the end of my mists. I'm actually kind of surprised that I didn't get through more. I'm wondering if I threw away another empty of these. So I might have gone through 2 of these, but I just repurchased 3 of them. Don't buy this over like $20. The prices on this have spiked. Walmart was selling it for like $35, but really just look for a price and I'll try to keep you updated on the $20 price. I just bought 3 from Walmart. The price went down from like $35 to $20 recently, so I picked up 3. Like I said, this is always on repurchase. It's a great hydrating step before your serums. Next are a couple vitamin C serums that I finished up. If you've been following me, you know that I've been using the Curology to start off my vitamin C L-ascorbic acid journey at 5%. I'm graduating to some over-the-counter L-ascorbic acids that are a little higher percentage, but if you're looking for a starter with L-ascorbic acid, this is super affordable. I think it's only like $25 a month, and it definitely is a great first step for jumping into vitamin C, but I have some new ones coming up this year. I'm switching completely over to the gold standard L-ascorbic acid. I'm kind of done with trying the derivatives. I haven't noticed any difference, but I did finish the Dermalogica Biolumin C. This is a pretty pricey product, and I just don't feel like the derivatives are giving me the brightening bang for my buck. Some hydrating serums that I recently finished up are the Cosrx Snail Mucin, which has been all over social media. This for me did not work for my mature dry skin. I think this works best for normal to oily skin types. It's definitely deeply hydrating. I personally just didn't get enough hydration out of this product, so it's not going to be a repurchase for me. But if you have normal to oily skin, I think you'd really enjoy this as a nice hydrating serum. I also finished up the Dermatology Needleless Serum. This has also been a social media hit, but I personally have not found the hydration that I expected out of this. Some people call this like their Botox in a bottle. For me, it just wasn't hydrating enough. I prefer actually the Pillowtalkderm Moisture Ampule, especially for the price. Not that this is a bad product, it has peptides and it does have some nice soothing ingredients, but it just wasn't enough moisture for me. I found the Moisture Ampule by Pillowtalkderm to be a lot more hydrating. I actually used it under my tretinoin in the summer as just sort of a buffer and on its own during the day just to kind of get some extra hydration. This is one of my absolute favorite products that I've recently tried for a moisturizing serum. Some specialty serums I finished up that have a specific purpose in my skincare routine are the Masama Green Rooibos Pressed Serum. This is the perfect serum to use before your LED treatment. It definitely diminishes the free radicals. It's soothing, calming, it's an antioxidant. Antioxidants are really important if you're using LED because they help combat free radical formation. I have a whole video on it. I'll link it above. Go check that out if you're curious about the Masama Green Rooibos Serum. I did a whole review of this and I think you'll really enjoy it. Like I said, I only need a couple of bottles of these a year to go along with my LED treatment. So for me, it's a very economical purchase. Another serum that I finished that I really enjoyed, this is the Licorice Root Serum, which is a lightener and brightener by LI Effector. It's their number 10 serum. I had an interesting opportunity to be on the nerd study for the Pillowtalkderm Major Fade launch by Dr. Shireen Idris, and her serum, the Hyper Serum, is fabulous. What I found out is you can use this as a one and done serum. It has anti-pigmentation, it has antioxidants, it has brighteners and lighteners. And I use this for anti-pigmentation. As you can see, I cut this open to see if once you load this into the dispenser, if it actually has no product left, and there's literally no product left. So I was just sort of curious about this, but this launched in late 2022. It's an absolutely fabulous serum, and I highly recommend it. If you want a one and done serum, this is a fabulous choice. All right, let's go through some moisturizers that I finished up. Also on the Pillowtalkderm launch, this is one of their lab samples. This is the oh gosh, I'm blanking on the name of this moisturizer. I actually found this, I could only use this in the evening. It tended to pill with some of my other skincare products. So this is an evening moisturizer for me. It comes in one of those cool pumps, which I really like because you just got a single dose. I find that really easy. You don't have to stick your fingers in it. Neutrogena Hydro Boost I used all summer long. Definitely like this, but if I have any kind of skin barrier issues, this definitely stings, but it's a very light, nice summer moisturizer. One that's a little bit more occlusive, that was a new find for me this year, is Fervor. This is a tiny little pot. You might think it's, per ounce really expensive, but you use just such a small amount, like literally just a fingertip worth, and you're done for the evening. It's kind of my last step in my skincare routine in the evening. Super occlusive, super hydrating. I love this actually. Like I said, you can get it at the drugstore. It's easy to find. And you might think, like I said, it's a little too expensive for the amount that you get, but you really only need a very tiny amount and it goes a long way. So if you're looking for a nice moisturizer that's super occlusive and you can find at the drugstore, check this out and let me know what you think. Two moisturizers that I can't stop talking about are the Dew Instant Angels moisturizer. I'm holding up a full tube because the two empties that I have, for some reason, I threw away or recycled. This is an aluminum tube, so it's easily recyclable. The other one is the Jordan Samuel Skin Recovery Cream, also a gorgeous moisturizer, a little bit more occlusive than the Dew Instant Angels. This is perfect for all skin types. This would be better if you have really dry skin. Someone recently pointed out to me that kind of lower down on the ingredient list, there is alcohol. So if you have sensitivity to alcohol, you might want to steer clear of this. I haven't noticed any irritation. You know I have sensitive skin. It's very low down on the ingredient list. It's used for stabilization, antibacterial. So anyway, just wanted to do that as a call out. Dew Instant Angels. Anyone who's looking for a great moisturizer, this is a great pick. An everyday drugstore moisturizer that I really enjoyed and I got through this summer is the Vanicream Facial Cream. Very light, very moisturizing, super affordable. I only finished one facial oil. It takes me forever to get through facial oils because I tend to use them obviously more in the winter as kind of the last step in my evening routine to kind of seal in all of my skincare before going to bed in the dry winter months. So it takes me forever to get through a facial oil, but I did finally finish the Zelen Z22 Absolute Oil. This is a little bit bit of a luxury buy, but I did end up getting it at 50% off. I actually prefer just as equally the Squalane oil by The Ordinary. It's a very light, skin-friendly oil, doesn't have any irritating ingredients, and so I would say stick to a budget buy if you're looking for a facial oil. It is nice to treat yourself. I have a few facial oils that have some special antioxidants or special hydrating ingredients, but I feel like they don't really make that significant a difference in my skin, whether I buy a budget oil or I buy one that's a little bit more luxury. They just are there to occlude and seal in your skincare in the evening and prevent the transepidermal water loss. I finished up some prescription formulas recently. Another tube of my tretinoin 0.05%. Takes me forever to get through a tube of this because I only use a pea-size amount 5 nights a week. Another vitamin A derivative that I tried for my décolleté this year was the Ecleaf. It's called Triferotene. It was supposed to be more gentle on the neck and décolleté. I'm not sure for me that was the case. I have gone to using just a pea-size amount of my regular tretinoin on my neck and décolleté once or twice a week to kind of get acclimated. I've been doing a whole décolleté rejuvenation this past year. I'm going to be doing a video on everything that I've had done, from prescription topicals to in-office treatments. So that's coming up in the next month or so, probably after March, because that'll be my last treatment. Another prescription formula that I've been using for my décolleté rejuvenation to help even out pigmentation and skin tone is 6% hydroquinone. This also includes kojic acid, arbutin, and umbilica, which are lightening and brightening ingredients. So these come in a pad formula, and I just swipe them along my décolleté. I use these about 4 nights a week, and I alternate it with glycolic treatment pads. I've used either the Dr. Loretta or these 15% glycolic pads from Pillowtalkderm. I am really working on rejuvenating my décolleté. If you've been following my rejuvenation journey, and I'll link a card up here, you know that I've been spending a lot of time on facial rejuvenation, but I totally neglected the neck and the décolleté. This past year has been a huge focus on rejuvenating the sunspots and the discoloration on my chest and neck, just to make things look a lot more harmonious. So I've been using the glycolic pads and the hydroquinone to achieve this, plus a few in-office treatments. Like I said, I'm going to go through the whole journey on my décolleté rejuvenation, probably sometime late March, because that should be my last in-office décolleté rejuvenation treatment. Sunscreens I recently finished up are the Evy Sunscreen Mousse. This is the body formula. I use it on my face and on my body. I like the dedicated face mousse because it's a little bit more hydrating, but this works perfectly on the face and the body. I actually went through a can of the Evy Face Mousse Sunscreen SPF 50, but I tossed it out. My other favorite recently has been the Beauty of Joseon sunscreen. Absolutely gorgeous sunscreen if you're looking for one. I love both of these, and they're always on rotation and on repeat purchases. All right, let's go through some specialty items. I finished up a box of the Auraglow teeth whitening gel that I use. This is 44% peroxide, which is a little on the strong side. I'm fairly tolerant of it. I usually get my teeth whitened in office every couple of years, so I do have a bit of a tolerance to this type of whitening. If you don't have a tolerance to it, they have a lower percentage, but I really enjoy this gel. It does a perfect job. I am a coffee drinker, and I will always be fighting the stains on my teeth. It's just one of those things that I've learned to live with because I'm not giving up my coffee. I have switched to half calf, so that's a step in the right direction, but I don't see myself giving it up completely. And I've also switched to 1 to 2 cups a day as opposed to 3 to 4. So I'm on the right track, but I'm not giving up my coffee. 2 masks that I recently finished are the Bossica Illuminating Black Charcoal Mask. This came in my derm store advent calendar, super fun to use. I won't be repurchasing it, but it was fun to try. The other one is, I'm gonna have to show, this is the lab sample, but here's the final product. Like I said, I was in the nerd study and we did this lash mask. This is a 15% glycolic mask. It is one of the more brightening masks that I've ever used. It's very similar to the Maisama Green Robos. They both have tranexamic acid, which is a really nice brightener, but this one is a little more intense because of the 15% glycolic. Here's what the final packaging looks like. I love this for once a week, once every couple weeks. You can do it up to 2 to 3 times a week. My skin isn't quite tolerant for that many times a week, especially in the wintertime. In the summertime, I was tolerating it 3 times a week, and it was helping diminish some of the red spots that I get after acne breakouts, the post-inflammatory erythema. So it was a really lovely product to use in the summertime 3 times a week, but now I'm down to once a week. All right, let's move on to hair care. I haven't gotten through many shampoos recently, which isn't really surprising. With my short hair, it takes me forever to get through shampoos now, and I'm revolving so many, trying so many different ones, especially now that I've gone gray. I'm doing a lot of experimenting. The texture of my hair is really different. It can get very frizzy. It's a little on the brittle side. It's always been fine, so that really hasn't changed, but the porosity of my hair is very different. It also tends to get a little bit yellow with exposure to sun and exposure to heat. So I'm doing a lot of experimenting with hair. This year, I'll be talking about gray hair care coming up in several videos, so you can look forward to that. But I didn't get through any shampoos. I did get through a conditioner, the No Yellow Mousse by Fanola. This is a purple foam conditioner. It's a very unique product. I can use it on a regular basis. It doesn't stain my hair purple, but it does get the yellow out. And I finished one of these up and it's on repurchase. Next up, I want to talk a little bit about hair oils. This is something new that I've tried. I've never used a hair oil in the past, but because my hair is now brittle, it's slightly porous now that I'm gray, I've been trying out some hair oils. This is the one by Hyel, their active botanical concentrate, and this is by Olaplex. As you can see, the Olaplex is yellow toned, and it's a little bit worrisome that I'm using a yellow toned oil in my hair when my hair is going yellow. So I'm going to be looking for a hair oil that has no color. I know there are several out there. I've seen some YouTube recommendations, so that's what I'm going to be searching for in the coming year. I've also finished up the Hale Botanical hair oil. This can be used on skin, hair, and body. It's not quite as pigmented, so I really have been enjoying this. I also have a 10% discount on all the Hyel hair products. Go check those out down below. I also love their scalp conditioner. I'm not finished with that quite yet. I finished up some styling products, the Kenra Volume 25, always on rotation. I always get the jumbo one. I also discovered this year the Kenra Texture Dry Shampoo. I've gone through about 3. I have 2 here. If you know my hair journey, I did a video on this. It's not the best video in the world. I need to redo it and really explain in detail and in depth in a much more professional way what I'm going through on my hair journey. I have thinning hair. It's hereditary, but it's also situational. It started when I was 47 in graduate school and I lost a ton of hair. So I went to a hair specialist and she recommended getting on minoxidil 5%. I'm very curious about maintaining hair through menopause and through our aging process. So I'm going to be doing some deep dives this year on how to maintain our hair growth and our hair health. But I have been using Rogaine since, I don't know, I'll check the date and put it down below. I've been using this for a long time. When I was 47, that's when I had this huge hair loss. My doctor said, get the men's Rogaine, 5%. She also put me on low-level laser light therapy, so I have a cap that I've used. I've used it for over 10 years. I used one of the originals and I've repurchased it. I'll link that down below. So that's my hair journey. I really need to do a deeper dive and I'm going to be focusing on that in the next year in some of my videos. If you have any specific questions on hair growth and hair maintenance or topics that you'd like me to discuss, please put them in the comments below so I can take those into consideration. I have a whopping big bin of empty body care, but I have been focusing on body care for the past 2 years very intently. I noticed that I can actually make a change in my crepey skin, my postmenopausal skin. I'm actually thinking about doing a series of videos on postmenopausal dry skin. So if you're interested in that, please let me know down below. I'm very interested in it myself. I've been focused on it for the last 2 years. I started HRT in 2016. That helped a little bit, but it was really my body care and the changes that I made in caring for the skin from neck to toes that made the biggest difference. So I'm just going to start with what's at the top of the bin. 2 tubs of Aquaphor. This is a product that my entire family uses year-round. We live in high elevation. There's low humidity year-round, so we are always going through the Aquaphor. This does contain lanolin, so if you have lanolin sensitivities, just take note of that. The biggest change that I've made is showering, because I've switched to an oil cleanser, an oil-based body cleanser. I've also told my youngest son, who suffers from eczema, to switch over to this. I hope he has. I keep sending it to him. Hopefully he's using it, because this has been a game changer in my postmenopausal dry skin. So this is what I use to cleanse my body. I've tried a couple different ones. This still remains my favorite. I have a couple empties of it, but you don't need to see all the empties. And I also exfoliate my body now. I never used to exfoliate my body except with a shower loofah and my usual cleansers, usually a glycerin-based cleanser, but exfoliation has been a game changer. This is a facial product. I use it on the body. I've talked to other estheticians who also highly recommend it for a body exfoliation product. I know I talk about it all the time. If you follow my channel, you're probably sick to death of me talking about this, but it really is a game changer, and I'm not going to stop talking about it. It is the Murad AHA BHA exfoliating cleanser. It has jojoba beads. It's not a physical scrub. It's just a gentle moisturizing scrub. It also has chemical exfoliants, which I personally feel are better for our more mature skin. And I'll leave it at that. And I also follow up my shower on damp skin with Hydro Boost. This is the Neutrogena fragrance-free. I have like 4 bottles of this that I've emptied out. And for a hand and foot treatment, once a week, I use the exfoliating body lotion. This is a lactic, 12% lactic by Dermatology. It softens up the cuticles. Then you just come in with a little scrub brush and your hands and feet look like they've had a manicure pedicure. I cannot tolerate this on the body because I do get eczema, but some people can tolerate this on the body for a gentle exfoliation. I prefer the slather for a body lotion. This is a gentle once a week treatment. It's got retinol, it's got lactic acid, it's got urea, and it's got squalane. I'm very curious about using body retinol. This is my first kind of tiptoe in to body retinol aside from the Versed, which I decided really just didn't have enough active ingredients to make much of a difference. But if you don't exfoliate, and I'll leave my video on body care above. If you don't exfoliate, this is just going to sit on the top of your skin. And so are most moisturizing lotions just going to sit on the top of your skin if you don't exfoliate first, because there's no way for it to get through all those dead layers of keratinocytes that aren't sloughed off. So the biggest change that I've made in the last 2 years is body exfoliation, following up with a lighter, deeply hydrating moisturizer on damp skin and sealing it in with a thicker moisturizer. If you want great body skin, these are the products that I really recommend. These 2 you can find at the drugstore, super affordable. These are a little bit more pricey, and I'm going to be looking for alternate products that are a little bit more affordable. If you know an exfoliating body product that you love, or a retinol product that you love, let me know, for the body, of course, and we're going to be focusing on body care during this next coming year. I only have a couple makeup empties, and they're both by Benefit, and they're both mascaras. This is the Benefit's primer. I've used this for years. It's always on repurchase. I use a single layer for a daily look, or I layer it up for more of an evening glam look. And I'm going to not be repurchasing the Benefit They're Real in Brown. I've kind of switched over to some black mascaras that I like a little bit more with my gray hair. I just did a decluttering video. I'll link that above. Because I have so much skincare, I have a very small edited makeup collection. I also find that because I focus a lot on my skincare, I don't feel like I need as much makeup as I used to feel like I needed. So if you're interested in how to create a very small edited makeup collection, leave me a comment down below. I still love makeup. I still like experimenting with it. I still like trying new methods to kind of make myself look glamorous and beautiful, but I also like to have kind of an edited collection. Let's talk about what's coming up this year. I'm going to be a grandma, so I'll probably be chatting a lot about that. I also am going to be continuing my review of LED, laser, and microcurrent, my home devices. The reason is because I am not going to be doing as many in-office treatments for my skincare. I kind of feel like I've come to the end of my 7-year skin rejuvenation journey. I'll leave a card above if you're curious about that. And I want to see what I can do at home to maintain my skin. So kind of shifting focus from in-office treatments to at-home treatments and doing a full review of microcurrent, laser, and LED. If you haven't seen those videos, I'll link a card at the end with that series. I'm also going to be doing a little bit of gray hair modeling this year. Since I've gone gray, a lot of opportunities have come up that are super unexpected. I've done a shoot at the Pillowtalkderm company. I also do a local shoot at a little boutique here called Jones & Company. Anyway, so a few little modeling jobs have come up and I'm really excited about that. But if you're interested in that, go follow me on Instagram at sterling_over50. What's up? What else is up? Let's see. My décolleté rejuvenation, like I told you, I'm going to be doing videos about that. And I also want to experiment a little bit with vlogs. I'm going to be traveling a little bit to see family. I'm not really all that experienced at doing vlogs. I've done a few and I will link a card above. They're a little rough, but I know one of you at least requested more vlogs. So I'll do my best to do some more vlogging during my travel. That's a roundup of all my empties this past 3 months and a little overview of what's coming up in my channel for this year. Like I said, if you have any requests, what you'd like to see on my channel, this is about us as a community. So please leave your requests down below and I'll try very hard to fit them into my content creation. Thank you so much for joining me and wishing you a skintastic day. I have a whopping bin of body empties, so let's get through this.